All right, everyone. Again, sorry for the confusion. I'm sitting here in my in-laws' basement in a back bedroom in a province about 6 hours away from home. Manitoba, where I live, is still in full lockdown, so the only thing you can do is go to a grocery store and buy the beer, and that's about it. Thankfully, beer is an essential, so we got beer and get groceries. But if I come here to Saskatchewan, where I am right now, it's all open. You can do whatever you want. Everyone here fine? Am I doing this right? I don't know. It's been a while. We do the stream whatever we want. I don't really know. You guys hear me fine? Can somebody say yes? Biggs and his limited skills. Can nobody hear me? 1 second then. We'll get my microphone. We'll try that. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, good. That's good. So now I don't have to worry about getting the other laptop and the headphones and all that crap. You guys can hear me. That's good. Well, welcome, everybody. I probably missed a few people as you guys are all just kind of coming in. As you can tell, Saskatchewan messed it up for me again because right here it is 8:02 where I am right now. And I've been sitting around for about 2 hours doing nothing. Haven't put all my work did, finished up all my work stuff, got all my orders in today, and we had dinner, and then I just been chilling, waiting for 8 o'clock because it was all set up, ready to go. I thought, no worries, nothing I have to do. And of course, when I signed in, I saw that Adele and Dawn were signed in about 6:30. I'm like, oh, that's a little bit weird. Keeners. Wally's here, and Dragon Layer's here now. Lloyd from Saskatchewan. Or are you in Alberta now, Lloyd, right now? John's here. Master BX here. Melody's here. Lots of good people are here. No crappy people here yet except for me. Terry's Tropical Tanks. Mirdul Singh, thank you for coming. And I think I got everybody for right now. And if I missed somebody, my apologies. That wasn't my intention. Biggs is Simple. Super Fish Nerd was here. That's Callie. She was here 10 minutes beforehand. So Aquafunk is here. Oh, crap. Here's where it all starts to go out of hand and starts to spiral out of control. But my thoughts was today is like normally you guys know me. I haven't been live for a long time. And I've told you guys why I don't go live very often. It's not that I don't want to. It's honestly at home, it's very challenging, and the internet's been a challenge as well. So basically when I'm on the road, normally I stay in hotels when I'm on the road, but with all the restrictions, the only place I can go for my entire livelihood for my job right now is this one city 6 hours away. And I come here and I generally only see 1, maybe 2 accounts per visit. I'm very, very restricted. But I stay at my in-laws. And when I'm here, I can use the internet, and it's a stronger signal than we ever have at home. So that's when I like to go live. The only downfall is I don't have the fancy background. There's no fish tanks. There's nothing like that. Jenny, we just started. Didn't miss a thing. I'm still here. So I thank everyone for coming. But what I was getting to is I didn't really plan anything. Normally, you guys know me. I like to kind of put together a topic, a bunch of notes, kind of get my mind going on something. And then I want to share that topic and can answer questions and stuff. But I thought it's been so long, and had this aired at the correct time, it would have been probably gone off without a hook. We probably would have had a couple of 100 people here or so, and there would have been all sorts of questions. So now the onus is all on you. What do you want my hair do? I have no hair. I can grow hair. Most people don't know that, but I can grow full hair. Maybe it starts a little further back. I don't know, but I can grow a full head of hair. If I have hair, it means I'm lazy. That's all it means. And I shaved about a week ago. So that's enough. That's enough. I'm not doing any more shaving for a while. We're just going to let it grow, get good till the point that I can put the clipper on it again. But the truth be told, my clipper fell off the sink and the switch broke off, so it's broken. So I had to purelator it away to get repaired. So I thought, instead of me sitting here babbling like I've already done for 5-6 minutes already, I figured maybe we should just kind of open it up. And what I was going to do is I'm actually going to try and I'm going to see if I can actually do this. You know, Biggs is legendary with his skills. Is I was going to share the link to the live feed to the chat. And anybody that wants to jump in, you know, we can all jump in, have fun. But I thought maybe one person at a time, jump in, share a story. We'll just have a little bit of a discussion. There's a lot of people like Adele. Adele's way down in Australia. I see Adele through Facebook, and I chat with Adele through the live streams or through Messenger and stuff like that. She is a hardcore. Supporter isn't the right word. She's very, very much involved with the OFR, and she's absolutely truly 100% an absolute asset. And I'm her second favorite channel. So I honestly, as some people might think, oh, you're only second base. Well, if I was 4,748, I think I'd still be, hey, that's pretty cool. But I'm honored to have each one of you guys here. So let's see if I can do that. If you guys at any point have any questions already, any questions at any time, we can talk about anything or ideas of what you want to talk about for topics, we can do that as well. I don't know how to, I'm on StreamYards. StreamYards seems to be, to me, work better for me when I'm on the road, even when I'm at home, for setting up in advance. And when I try to use the ones, the regular YouTube live one, I could see the wrenches and I could see who's a moderator and all that stuff. But honestly, I don't know who my moderators are because I don't see anything on here. Adele, you're a moderator on the other one. I thought you were a moderator here, but it doesn't show anything different for you here other than you're just awesome. That's all I got. Well, welcome, Travis, and everybody's here. Look at this big group of people. So what do we want to talk about? Now, the reason I said let's talk about fish is because I think fish on my channel is I don't want to say it's being put in the back seat. It's definitely not in my intention. Oh, the Mad Aquarius, the StreamYard links allows guests to join, not the YouTube. No, that's exactly what I want. It's exactly what I want, my friend. I want you guys in the chat for me to be able to join you to this chat, and we can have two people on the screen here, and we can have a chat, and we can share stories, fish stories. We can talk about what's popular where you are, what's happening where you are. Because as I've alluded to in a bunch of videos and stuff, fish is very, very challenging right here. Very, very challenging for me to get. So I've started finding ways and means to develop the channel further. And if any of you guys saw my little New Year's Eve kind of one that I released, it was basically kind of synopsis of everything. All the changes are going to be happening. And if you've seen the first 4 videos, I think 5 videos, one came out today, you'll see that there's very distinct changes. And also in the first 4 videos, there's actually a very distinct change going in those first 4 videos. And I never anticipated how much more work it was going to be when I started thinking about doing all these changes. Adele is a mod on here now. Did you make her a mod? Did I make her a mod? I have no idea. Biggs has no idea what he's doing. Biggs is just here because he's like the eye broccoli for the crowd. That's it. I'm just a darn sexy guy. Not the right link. So if I'm going to the bottom here and I'm clicking. Oh, I know which link I shared with you guys. Copy to clipboard. Okay. Hold on, guys. Let's see if this works here. This will take me to a new status. This will basically make me legend status. How's that? Bam, baby. What do you think of that? Okay. Master Biek has asked, what do you think about a jungle fish tank with everything in, including sand, dirt, and stuff like that? Basically, only peaceful fish is added. I think it's cool. That's a big Father Fish and Lucas and all those guys. And I got guys up here, Kyle, a good friend of mine. They do all those real old school natural dirt style tanks. I think it's fascinating. And we do have a project. Kyle, who did a live feed with me a while back, we did a live feed on dirted aquariums. And we want to revisit that one. The reason that we did the video on that one was because me and Kyle have been planning on doing a video on doing a full-on 75-gallon dirted aquarium, but then the pandemic hit, and then I literally have all this supplies sitting in my garage of different types of muds and additives and the $200 shopping list that he made me go out and buy all this stuff. And it's all sitting there. Now, it's not me wanting to do it and not wanting to do it. I don't want to take him away from it. It's the fact that I want to do it with him because he's the guy that's going to be guiding me through his vision. And I really like, you guys have seen my channel, I like taking people and showing their stories as well, instead of it always being some, dead sexy guy looking at it all the time. So who should we bring up first? We already have 2 contestants on the prices right here today. I don't know. Let's see who was. This one was first. This could go really good, or this could go really, really badly. We don't even know what's going to happen. Are you guys sure you're ready for this? Should we do it? Just say, somebody say, yes, we should, except for the person that's waiting. Well, you see one person's nodding, but let's see who's there. Okay, that person's saying no. So we're going to go with this one instead. All the way from down under.
Hi.
How you doing, beautiful?
What's going on?
She's got her name there. So me and Adele were kind of talking about it today. My original plan is I was trying to get all my down under people on board for one video where I could poke fun about the way they talk and how they defend their fish in their planted tanks from koalas. Do they play didgeridoo music to set the tone for fish breeding? Here in Canada and North America, we use Repashy gel diets to raise certain fish. Down there, they use Vegemite mud paste, things like that.
Well, speaking of Vegemite,
that's terrible.
I have it with me.
That's so terrible. I don't know how any of you guys willingly. It's just really awful. I have friends that lived in. We have friends. They live in Bundaberg, which is on the far eastern coast. And they brought
north of me.
Mud paste when they came, and it was terrible. So where are you?
I'm a few hours south of Bundaberg, closer to the coast. Yeah, very tropical. Awesome.
Just that's pretty much what it's like here. Yeah, all the leaves have fallen off the palm trees here already. Jesus. It's not bad right now. Honestly, I can't. Nobody in Manitoba, Saskatchewan can complain about the weather we've got right now. This morning I woke up, it was -8 degrees Celsius, and warmed up today. Zero's freezing, right? So -8's not really that cold. You put a light sweater on or something. Well, Canadians do. You guys would like freak out and put on parkas and stuff.
Yeah, I'd probably have like 3 layers of clothes on.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't like it here at all. But it was like plus, it was -3 or something during the day. But I was at work, so I don't really know. Vegemite, everybody sing.
Oh wait, I have to use my phone for this because I can't see the live chat.
Jenny has the best one. She says, "I have tried Vegemite. It tastes like evil."
It doesn't. How can I can't defend myself from this because I get this every time.
Oh, it's so
Vegemite is evil.
Oh, it's just bloody
great.
I always thought, if it was on like the show Jackass or something, like they do that in one of the skits. Hey, I dare you to eat this. Oh, it tastes like mud. No, like I don't want to eat that. What's it made of? It's made of like car oil or something. I don't know. It's terrible. Oh, that's just terrible.
It does. It looks like motor oil.
Oh. That's so wrong. So wrong.
So good. Full of B vitamins.
I tried drying some dead leaves, and almost burned them. I do when I do the isopods and all that stuff, getting things ready for vivariums and everything like that. I'm always cooking stuff in the oven, in my wife's kitchen with my wife's permission slip that I made myself on my computer, and I signed her name, wife. It just looks way more official than anything else. So. But yeah, you don't want to leave them for very long. You just want to dry them out, and that's it.
Yeah.
See, there's nobody on your side here on the Veggie Paste side. And even if you're from England, what's the one in Marmite? Marmite in England. This is basically
Marmite or Promite, I think is the other one. So, yeah, I don't like Marmite.
So you're big with the OFR. You're like the lady of the OFR. You're helping out. You do all sorts of stuff. You're probably the most legendary
lady of the OFR.
The which?
Tracy's the lady of OFR. I'm just the behind the scenes moderator.
There you go.
Yeah.
So by saying that, though, we're just going to assume then in Australia, you have a swimming pool with sharks in it, and you have all this sort of stuff. This is the type you have OFR down under, basically.
I wish. No, I'm just a fan. So how it all came about was shortly after Tracy became ill. Big Rich approached me because he'd seen me through the live streams and speaking to Tracy, and I'd spent a lot of time watching their videos. He's approached me.
Like a stalker.
No, no, I'm just a fan. So I'm just like everyone else. He's approached me and go, well, I've seen you, during our live streams, and you talk to Tracy, and Tracy absolutely loves you. Would you please help us out while Tracy's in hospital, because I'm not going to be able to spend time on social media.
Weren't we trying to hook up with Josh on multiple occasions, though?
No. He's like a little brother. Oh my gosh. No, I'm too old for Josh. No.
I think it's all the muscles. It's all the muscles on Josh that, it's.
He's getting some definition. Like, I'm really impressed. But I've just started going back to the gym as well. So it's giving me something to go, okay, I'm going to get muscles too.
Oh, I'd go to the gym. I'd go to the gym and lift weights, but they look really heavy, so I've never gone. You don't look buff like this. You go into the gym. This is years and years of abuse. Yeah. So what kind of fish do you keep, Adele? Like, I know I've never been to Australia, but I know like the fish keeping hobby there is vastly different in the costs, and people have no idea.
It's quite expensive down here anyway. Like, we don't have $1 a gallon sales, or
we don't in Canada either, ever. Never. We don't.
It sucks. Honestly, I'm really jealous of the Americans that everything is so cheap and accessible. Down here, it's a little more expensive, and it can be a bit more costly with time, like looking for the right products. But it's just as worthwhile. Well, I have 2 little tanks, so I have 2 5-gallon tanks behind me that I'm working on. They're my little pet projects right now.
Yep. What kind of fish?
So in this one, I have one female molly who I got off my neighbor, and a salt and pepper Cory cat.
Yep.
And a little plant in there as well, just to try and help the water a bit. And this one, I have 3 neons, and there's a lot of plants in there. So I'm trying out the whole planted tank scene. I've never tried it before. Always just gone with the fake stuff and got sick of it. So now I'm going for live and absolutely love it. Like, my Java moss is taking over this tank, but it's great.
I know I have many friends that have gone and spoken in Australia, and I figured eventually I'm just going to get the call. I know it's going to come when the pandemic hit, but they sent me back pictures while they were there. Like a 16-ounce bottle of Prime was like $94 or something. But the Australian currency is very similar to the Canadian currency. It's not much difference. But I'm like, $94 for water conditioner. I'm like, it's crazy.
That's why I get little bottles of like water ager from Kmart, and it does the same thing. So my fish are all happy, like, they're swimming around.
What got you into fish keeping though? Like, what started it for you?
I don't know. I've always really loved being around water. So I'm a water baby. Pisces. I just went, well, I'll give it a go. I've always loved fish. I've always loved being around the water. And I thought, well, why not? I can't have a cat or a dog in a certain rental, so I'll try fish. They don't shed fur everywhere. And
Can you keep, it might sound like a totally dumb question, it's just I don't know. Can you keep saltwater fish in Australia? Knowing full well that you have like the reefs all around and stuff, that's no problem?
One of my local fish stores actually has a really well-stocked marine section. So everything from corals to, I don't even know. They actually have a display tank with a shark in it. So very cool. Lots of, different, even right down to shrimp.
Well, I know every country has their different laws. I know Australia has extremely strict laws for importation of anything, not just live animals, even anything that's dead, like animal parts for like dog chews and stuff. Everything has to go through an irradiation process, and you guys don't get anything new almost ever for fish now. If it's there, it's there. But tropical fish, almost nothing new ever gets to come in now, unless it's approved. Unless it's
exactly. I'd actually have to find out more about it, to be honest, because I've never kept marine. I've never even
I never
considered.
either. Yeah, I never.
Yeah,
Have to.
I figured it's too much hard work.
Yeah.
I
Do you have
like my tropical.
What's your favorite fish at OFR?
Oh, that's really hard. Can I do a top 5?
Sure.
Okay. At the moment, it would have to be Brutus.
Yeah,
Brutus?
is he 5 or 1?
Oh, well, Brutus is number 1, obviously. He's the biggest. So I'll go from number 1. I've got Brutus,
That's the
who
big
is the Arapaima. Pittsburgh, the puffer.
Yeah.
Hubert, which is their new fly river turtle.
Yep.
He's absolutely gorgeous.
And closer to home for you. Yeah, from New Guinea. Aren't they fly river turtles? Aren't they New Guinea?
I have no idea. I just think they're adorable.
One of these nerds on here will tell us if we're right or not. I don't know.
Let's see. What do they say? Who knows where fly river turtles
are from? I believe it's New Guinea. I might be wrong, but I believe it's New Guinea. Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
I would have to say I love their Adonis Pleco. He's so cool. He's huge.
He's way too big. He's way too big. He's like a meter long of full. it's like picking up a pine cone that's armored. It's a terrible fish. Terrible.
It's massive. Betty the Paku. Wait, is that 4 or 5? And Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Oh, he's still there. I love Pittsburgh. I've always wanted to have an embu, and every time I've tried, I've brought in small ones, and they're always wild harvested. We can get them from the Tanganyika importer because they live in the river system right beside Lake Tanganyika. And they always come and they're always just riddled with parasites all the time. And they go from all the way from Africa to their import station, all the way to like Florida. They sit there in vastly different water chemistry. Then they get shipped up. And by the time they get to us, they're really, really challenging to keep. But I'll keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, eventually one will come along and will prosper.
There we go.
I think that's probably the one thing I've learned about fish keeping is to just not give up on it. If you want to achieve a certain tank or breed or keep a certain species, keep at it and keep learning about them and keep trying. So that's about all.
That's a good way to end it. To me, that is from a newer fish keeper. You're not necessarily a new fish keeper, but from a newer perspective. Or somebody that's only got a couple of tanks, your words right now are also truly inspirational for anybody at any level, and that's what it is.
I'm learning so much from OFR. I've learned so much from not just Big Rich and Josh, but also our members as well.
Or there's your favorite channel. You can learn stuff there too.
I learn stuff all over the place. Google is my best friend. I swear, for everything. It is my best friend. And if I can't find it there, then I go to OFR.
The problem with Google, though, is you can learn some stuff and then you can find out it was totally wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, my friend. Thank you for coming. I'm going to bring in another.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. We're going to do this again. You good?
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, Biggs.
Take care. All right. Should I bring in another one? Was that enough? Did you guys have enough, or do you want more? I don't know. This could take. It's going to go so out of control.
You don't do it. Don't do it, Big. Don't put me on here. What are you, crazy? Yeah. You out your mind?
You look like you've been panning. I guess all the snow's left. It must be freezing down there for you. You're wearing a hoodie.
Oh no! You know what? In all actuality, the temperature has dropped a little bit at night. So whenever I go out to my balcony or whatever, but I think I'm wearing my work shirt. Yeah, that's why I threw this on. I was like, I don't want y'all to see my work shirt.
I hope you guys survived the frigid temperatures.
It's rough. It's rough out here. People are barricaded in the house. Food ain't making it. It's terrible. I think it was 68 today. I think I don't remember.
Yeah. I'm not a political guy whatsoever. I don't know if you are. An affiliation for whichever side it is, doesn't matter. But what is it like being in Florida right now with all the stuff that's been happening as of late? Is it crazy? Like, is it really crazy down there? I have no concept of it.
Okay, so wow, you had to ask me that one. Wow. Okay.
I'm not political at all, so it doesn't matter.
No. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. So it's not like on the news where I'm at. Okay, I have heard of a couple of small demonstrations here and there, but you know, everybody is sticking to their guns as far as their guy. So you still see the Trump flags and the MAGA hats, and like it's not a thing. It's something you gotta kind of go, huh? You know.
Well, I know
but
about,
it is what it is.
Whenever I go visit Mike Drawdy, I don't know what highway it is. I don't know how if you ever get up to Lakeland at all. I just know it's on one of the main highways by Lakeland, and from the main highway you can see, and it's clear as day. You know what I'm talking about. It is a gargantuan Confederate flag, and Mike, I tell him, it's crazy.
I live about 5 minutes from that flag.
Oh, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're near Lakeland.
Yeah.
I for some reason I thought you were in Miami.
No, I'm in Tampa.
Okay.
But check this out. I'm actually in the process of moving from here, and we're gonna get into buying a house, and it's gonna be in Plant City or Lakeland.
Are you moving again because there's black mold all over the place because you have 200 fish tanks in your small house?
No, not this time. This time we're moving for a good reason. We're moving because we've outgrown this. My old lady, she started her own home-based business, and to be honest with you, we just don't have the space for her business. And the reason why I came to Florida was to do fish, and I can't do that out of an apartment like I want to. Yeah. So we're gonna move out to Lakeland, Lakeland, Plant City, get a well, and just be happy. So there's a lot of things going on over here. A lot of good things, a lot of crazy things. Everything's moving 100 miles an hour. I'm trying to stay out of all that craziness out there. Yeah, good things. It's about time though. So
I know all the farmers in that area when it gets cold in the wintertime, and I know cold is a variable thing. It should have quotes around it, but they do get frost. They do get freezing sometimes in Lakeland, and there are massive die-offs in fish if they're not if you don't do it right outside.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I'm thinking about me, I want to put up a structure and a greenhouse wherever I move to. So I'm kind of picking the minds off of some of the breeders out here and seeing how they handle their greenhouses and the winter times. Because like look, it's Florida. It does not get cold for us, but it dips past that where having outdoor ponds and outdoor, because they call them ponds, they just dug out a hole. They have a lot of different ways of combating. You know what I'm talking about.
Lakeland, you go down southern Florida, and the bedrock is all coral. So there's no in-ground, like you look at fish farms on the internet, there is no in-ground ponds. They're carved into the ground if you want them. But you go up to like Lakeland and those sort of areas and stuff in Tampa, and they can dig ponds naturally because it's mostly sand, right? So you run water constantly, and it filters through the sand.
Well, actually, at about 4.5, 5 feet, you hit 4 feet out here. You hit the water line. So a lot of these ponds fill up by themselves.
Yep.
I actually talked to Ricky from Max's Cichlids yesterday about going back out there. That's always fun.
You did one there? Yeah, I shot it. I remember when I shot the first video there. There was like dogs barking and all this noise around and then I'd never met Max before, and they'd set this big thing up for us for lunch and everything like that. They were just absolutely wonderful people, and I had the whole thing planned as to what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish, but I'd never spoken to him in person. And we started doing an interview, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. He doesn't understand half the words, or it's not a matter of understanding. He's got to translate it and come up with his answer. It was very challenging.
Well, that's why actually when I set up my interview with them, I studied your videos. I studied them.
I don't want to
No,
do that.
seriously. Yeah, and that's what it was. I was like, okay, so Ricky, his wife, I told her, I said, listen, I'm gonna send you a handful of questions that maybe y'all want to go over. I'm not necessarily gonna ask them all, but at least he has it ahead of time so it doesn't take him by surprise. And I even asked Ricky to be on the video too. So them two together.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah, it actually worked out really well. And I made sure it wasn't windy or anything like that, and we were good. We were good.
There's dogs barking everywhere. It's just chaos, eh?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna work out great.
Yeah. Hey, I got a bone to pick with you.
So like to me, if I want to go there, like it's a big, I got to plan a lot of stuff. When I go down south, I'm bringing so much gear with me. There's only so much. I'm not bringing lights with me when I travel, and my giant video recording fluid head tripod that gets to 7 feet. I'm not bringing all that stuff with me. I'm going to take my phone.
Yeah, I did a lot of studying your video, but I got a bone to pick with you. Hey, Americans in the chat, let me tell you something. This dude got our American Eagles in a cupboard somewhere up there in Canada, and we need to get him back.
What would you
He got him in a drawer up in Canada. That's where all the Eagles are at, up in Canada, stuffed in a drawer somewhere, and we want them back.
What do you want? You want one of my moderators to share the link to that video?
Yeah. No, hey man, I got a question to ask you though. How do you keep track of all these animals? Because you're kind of into all bugs and birds and fish.
Well, that's like,
how do you have time?
Well, that's part of the problem is the fact that when I've talked about it in videos repeatedly, and I haven't gone live, and that was kind of one of the reasons for wanting to go live. But when I go live, it's usually I have a lot of notes and I want to follow the structure and stuff. And like, I don't enjoy those live ones. I want them to be more casual, just laid back and talk and have a loose subject matter and go. But what's changed really dramatically for me, when I talk about there's not access to fish, there isn't for fish. Right now, I can't fly anywhere in Canada if I wanted to. I can't. There's nowhere to fly. Our airlines are not running like in the States. Like I was talking with Rusty Wessel, the famed Central American guy, lives in Louisville. I was talking with him a week or so ago, trying to get a couple of certain videos or little things that I knew he had to send to me, little clips of things. And he was leaving for Mexico the next day. He's absolutely loving it right now because the flights are so cheap. And he said, says we're going to be safe. We're going to wear our masks. We're going to use hand sanitizer. We're not going to be stupid, but we're going to live our lives. And Rusty's 60, and he's flying all over the country doing all sorts of things, going to Florida on trips, going to Mexico, collect fish. He's just living life and it's a lot cheaper right now. In Canada, we don't even have that option. You cannot, like in the States, if you wanted to travel tomorrow, you could buy a ticket and you could get a quick COVID test right away because they won't let you fly to certain places unless you have a negative test result. In Canada, you can't get a test unless you have symptoms. Then you have to phone this line called Health Links, wait on the phone for 2-3 hours until they answer, and then they have to assess you. You talk to a nurse, and they assess you as to whether or not you need to be tested. And then you go to get tested on a scheduled date and time, and it might be a week away from there, depending on your symptoms. And then you might wait a week to 3 weeks to get your results. You can't do it.
No, that's crazy.
So
that's crazy. So
with the fish, there's only the wholesaler that's closest to me that's in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, which is right in the center. It's right above your armpit of the U.S. It's right above North Dakota. And for him, only places that he can get fish from are Belém, which is Brazil. He can get from Bogota, which is Colombia, and he can get from Miami. And those are all direct Air Canada flights from those centers directly to Toronto and then in on a continuous flight. He can get those 3 areas. That is it for the world that he can access fish right now. But if he owned his wholesale operation in, say, Vancouver on the far west coast or in Toronto, Ontario, he could access fish from almost anywhere in the world because all those countries have flights coming in for cargo, but no Canadian air carrier will touch anything past that. So that's where we're really hurting for fish. So I have great access to wild Brazilian fish, which isn't really my passion right now. I have great access to African cichlids, which is not my passion. And I have great access to Colombian fish, which is the same as Brazilian fish to me. My passion is in different areas, fish that I can tell a story about. And not being able to access stuff has caused a lot of challenges. And you being a YouTuber as well, you've got to plan not a week in advance. I'm planning 3 months what's going to happen because we have no crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen. So I started trying to evolve my channel a little bit because if you go back and watch, now I'm not asking everybody to do it, but my original launch video.
Do it.
My channel.
Everybody do it.
But my original launch video was what I wanted to do with my channel and with my credentials and the people that I've been fortunate. I'm very blessed. I've met a lot of really cool people. I get behind a lot of closed doors that a lot of people don't get to see. Private aquariums, fish farms, reptile places, weird different botanical gardens. And I thought that's what I want to do. I want to go and interview people and bring things that people can't see. Something a little bit different. Nature, not just fish. Nature, fish, snakes, bird, whatever, anything. The bird thing is a joke. The bird thing, and I don't mean to tell this live because I'm kind of ruined my whole thing, but one of my very first videos was Daniel Kahn Vetterlein from Germany. And he's like a 25-year-old kid. And he's a great, he's an amazing scientist. I don't know if he's a full ichthyologist now or not, but his study is all in the lip structures and the little things on lip structures of loricariids or plecos. That's what his whole claim to fame is. And he stayed with me when he came up, but we found out that he likes birds, likes going out and taking pictures of birds and everything. And that's what old people do. Young people don't go take pictures of birds. All the old fish guys, when they get to be 60, 70, their passion starts going toward birds. Not now. So that's where the whole stance with the bird. So I joked with him. He knew about me doing a bird video and about a handful of other people. I says, finally, I'm going to do a bird video for you guys. I'm doing it. I'm agreeing to what you want. You think I'm a hidden bird guy. That's what that video that you saw. That's how that came about. But I had to start. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. You mentioned something that I think about because you don't know this, but I think about you on a regular basis because I am determined. I am determined to try and get into the cichlids of America. It's not happening for me, but. And I'm like, but Chris was there. We talk almost weekly, me and Dan. It's almost like, and I'd never met him before the first time. We sat around his patio and he said, there's no way anybody's doing any video in there. We don't do any video at that. There's never been video shot in there, nothing, no pictures, nothing. And we sat on his porch and we chatted and he had a cigar and we had a couple of drinks and I did that little interview with him. And then later on, we went and looked at the fish. You can video those fish. You can. It all snowballed. And then the next time when I said I was coming down, me and his family just hit off so well. And we're like, him and Marta are dear, dear friends. I talk to Dan at least once a week, once every week and a half, all the time. And if this pandemic had not happened, there would have been at least a dozen videos that would have been done there on very specific topics that we've had lined up already done. Oh man, you could have been there forever on all those fish. Like I ask around. He doesn't know me from Adam. I just know that I ask around. I'm like, hey, you ever heard of cichlid? You know, when I go to we got a co-op here. A fish farmers co-op.
I went there
and I go there.
Equipment with me to do a video. He said, we got to go to the co-op. You got to take things to the co-op. So I got my tripods. I got my GoPro. I had everything with me, all my gear. I'm thinking, oh, this is cool. This is like unexpected footage. I'm not expecting to go there. I go there and I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing a video here. There's nothing to show.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah, it's not exciting at all. It's not exciting at all.
Looks like
I go there. I go there because I live like 10 minutes away. So, you know, I get a sponge filter for like a 75 gallon for $5. You know what I mean? So I go there and every time I keep seeing all the fish farmers and and online guys, the guys who sell online, they all go there. And I'm like, hey, you know the guy from I try and get in. They're like, nah, he ain't let nobody in. I'm like, dang. Chris went up in there, man.
The first that one video that I did with that, like if you look at my analytics or whatever it is, because I don't follow any of that stuff. I don't follow anything. That's why my YouTube channel grows to such and such a point and it doesn't go anywhere. It's because I don't look at any numbers of anything. I do videos for fun. I have stuff. I have topics and interests. And if people like it, great. If they don't like it, I'm not going to change anything. But when I went and did Dan's, that one video, that video has more views than I think all my other 200 or 300 videos combined.
Well, the fishing there was incredible. They were incredible. Like,
Horrible horrible. It's a nightmare to film in there, man. It's light and glass every direction. It's nightmare to film in there.
Well, I was like my video, my Max Cichlids video that did pretty well because people don't see those fish all the time, So I'm happy.
Watch my videos.
Huh?
You can watch my videos of it.
Yeah. But
this
Ricky,
is probably
Ricky
for you. This is punishment for you because I flew all the way from Canada down to Florida and spoke at the Tampa Bay Aquarium Society, and it went over huge, and you didn't even bother showing up.
When was this?
I don't know. Last year, the year before. I don't know. I spoke there, and then I spoke in Fort Lauderdale, and then I went collecting fish all through the Everglades, and then I went to the farms. I did a whole bunch. I was there for like a week and a half.
Oh, I don't remember that. Nobody told me. See, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm not talking bad about Tampa Bay Aquarium Society, but for some reason we keep missing each other. Like me and fish clubs just do not mix. I love going to them, but it's hard because I always miss the good stuff all the time. Never fails.
Well, I'm wrong. It's Jason's asking the same thing. When was I in Tampa? I'm going to probably guess it was probably 2 years ago. If you go back and look at the videos of me collecting in Florida and all that stuff, I went down with Austin the first time when I first saw Dan. That's kind of around that time frame. The second time I was just down there more recently, I went and spoke at Pasco County, which is Grant Eater, Jose, and all those guys. I was at that club the next time. And that's when I went and stayed with Sharifi the second time. And that's when I stayed with Sandy, and we did stuff all over the state. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that was the first time you went. I was just coming to Florida. The second time I didn't know about. So I would have went to Pasco County. That's not too far from me. But
you're in jail.
Yeah, for some reason I probably was. They just let me out. I posted, excuse me. But no, it's crazy out here because God, I got something in my throat.
Oh, sorry, I knocked you out somehow. I did that. There you back.
Because I was coughing.
You're all over.
He's coughing. Get him out of here.
It's COVID.
I got something in my throat.
It's COVID.
It's COVID. He gonna put it on my phone. My StreamYard is gonna get COVID. But now it's weird because when I moved to Florida, I'm sure you spent a lot of time in New Jersey doing all these talks that you do, right?
Not Jersey. I've only been to Jersey to speak once. North Jersey Aquarium Society. Awesome group of guys, and I will go back there anytime. The thing I had no concept of being there is traffic. Wow. They took me around for the whole pet stores, and we sat in a car in traffic for like 4 hours to go to one place. Insane.
That's up north. But here's the funny part. When I was up in Jersey, right, I felt like the fish scene was a little bit more active than here in Florida.
Well, it's all on the weird part for some reason. I don't know why. All the cool fish clubs are on the east side.
Well, I'm here. So.
No, but like you go into PA, 1 year, Callie's here. 1 year in Pennsylvania between the different clubs or conventions, I spoke 11 times in a year. And I'm like,
Wow.
how is that even possible? It was just all over the place. It was like in a year. I was looking at my miles and my flights, and I'm like, that's insane. But it is what it is. Chicago,
So let me ask you, when you
Pennsylvania, all those areas, those are all the hotbeds and stuff. There's a real good club in Milwaukee, great group of people, lots of fun. You'd be great on the speaking circuit.
so
You
all
just
these
got to talks.
So let me ask you, all these talks you do, what would you consider your number one expertise?
Looking damn good.
Like your
okay, drinking, is that an option? Is drinking a good option? No,
I'm serious.
I don't know. Like I've never. Like, I used to be. I used to be a musician. I'm not afraid of being in front of people. I have fun and I'm real. I don't fake anything. You're very real too. You have no qualms about being yourself. You know what I mean? You have fun wherever you go.
Looking silly. Yeah.
And that's totally cool. My background is my background was I almost finished my botanical degree for botany of plant studies. And my secondary is I've always spent my life working with fish, but I didn't want to take my fish as on the science side and become an ichthyologist and studying dead minnows in a tray. So I made sure that my majors and everything were not that, but my interest was still there. So I without tooting my own horn, I don't want to sound like I'm boasting, but I think one of the things that I've always been very good at is taking that technical side of the chemistry and all that stuff about the fish stuff and bringing it down that everybody can, like, I could talk to you about a certain weird type of scale formation on a fish that you normally would not care about, but maybe I can make it that you'll kind of go, hey, that was kind of cool. And I think that's what I'm able to do. I'm able to bring those topics that otherwise the sciencey stuff and bring it into where it's a bit more readily consumed or enjoyed. Is that
Well, see, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same way, but it's on STDs. And we're not going to talk about how I know so much about it.
No, you just got to have fun. You got to be real. But you, honestly, my friend, you would be excellent on speaking. You just got to find out what interests you. Now, there's a lot of different styles of speakers out there. I get booked more often to be the keynote banquet speaker at conferences everywhere I go. And there's a big one, Wally, if you're still in the room, there's a big one that I've tentatively agreed to be upon. They have not announced it or anything like that. It is the first U.S. one that I've agreed to go to, and I'm hoping it'll happen. And it's going to be super funny once I start telling people, but they haven't announced it, so it's not really my place to say it. It's in October. And it's kind of where you live, Wally, but I'm not saying anything more. But it's basically going to be, and I don't have a talk designed, but basically it's going to be me up on stage at the banquet harassing people for an hour. It's not about It's not fish that I love. It's going to be like a roast almost, I'm guessing. I don't even know.
Yes.
I have no plan.
Yes. When
But
I was in
the Keystone Clash in PA. I spoke at that. They did it 2 years. They started out in a community club, and then they did it again. And then the next year, I came, and they got bigger. Not because of me. It just got bigger year after year after year. And then
it was because of Scott. It was because of Scott. It was Scott did it.
No, Scott wasn't involved for the later one. Scott wasn't involved. He was still there, but Scott had stepped down. He started his whole club, right? But they started this club and it got bigger. The show got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the organizers who I'm there for every year, he says, we're thinking of doing something a little bit different next year. And I'm like, yes, because I don't have to come up with any more new content. I've spoken here far too much. And then that year came and COVID hit. And then that's if you don't book bigs for your convention, you guys, it's doomed. Look at his ass. Denise. Oh, there we are. We're good.
What's that?
No, there's somebody
When
else.
I was in,
But it says device not connected.
oh, when I was in high school, my teacher insisted that I join the drama club. And I did because I was a class clown, of course. And they actually had to create a new category. You know how they in high school they give out awards for the drama? They created most comical for me. So I was the first recipient in Bethel High School to get most comical in the drama club.
I did
I've never been
comedy for when I was younger. I did stand-up comedy. The guy that warms up for the comedians at a comedy club. I did that for a little while, and it was okay. I enjoyed it, but I'm like, there's no life in this at all.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Oh, his device went away. I'm saying, hey, we're going to load this guy in here, and then we can just beat him up. We'll just jump on him together and have fun. But it says his device isn't connected. He keeps coming and going.
Oh, yeah?
We'll see if it happens. So now when you move to this mythical land and you get this mythical house and you're going to set up proper tanks because you can do whatever you want now. When you get there, what's the one thing that you've never been able to do that you really want to do? Is there something particular? There's obviously something driving you. You want bigger tanks or bigger fish, or there's something about that you've never been able to do where you've been.
Okay, so I it's not that I haven't been able to do it. It's just I haven't been able to reap the benefits of the success that I started. Let me tell you, in New Jersey, I started breeding angelfish, right?
Okay.
Totally, I got my angels. I've always wanted angels, but I always got other fish instead that didn't do good with angels. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do angels. And it just so happens that the way my regiment on angels, they breed readily. It's just my particular fish keeping regiment just goes really good with breeding angels. And I started breeding angels in a very, very small 8-foot wall, a spot that only took up 8 foot. And I made $250 a weekend.
Okay, I got one thing for you. I'm going to give you a nugget. It's just because you like angels, okay?
Yeah.
There's one particular farm that is near you that is the absolute Cadillac of fish farms. I'm talking this place is you can walk around here barefoot and your feet will be clean when you leave. Cadillac. It's an operation that is not open to the public. But if you have the ability to talk to them, you might be able to get in behind the scenes and go and do a video there. I have not done one there. I just haven't gotten back to going and doing it yet. But this place here, these are great, great people. But they produce almost all the angels, gold barbs, rosy barbs, almost all the kerosins, tetras, barbs, danios, angels that go into the mass trade, PetSmarts and all that sort of stuff. These guys produce it in North America. And it's close to you. You don't know who it is? Do you know who Ray Quinlan is? That's the name of the
Quinlan.
owner.
I heard the name. I heard the name Quinlan. Does he have 2 facilities?
He has 1 facility, and his daughter helps run it and stuff like that. And but it's urban. You want to go to urban. Nobody else needs to know nothing else. We're going to Jedi mind that to everybody else here in the chat. But see if you can get into urban. If you can't, what you want to do is you and me message me afterwards, and I'll get you the contact information, and I'll try and see if I can give them a call and say there's an opportunity, because you could do a video that'd be the first time ever being done there of something a bit more unique that's more up your alley.
Yeah. So I know exactly who you're talking about. And as soon as I mentioned the word, and I didn't speak to them, it's the same thing as Cichlid of the Americas. They was like, you're not getting in there, And I'm like, I'm not. It was the same thing. But that's the other place I've been trying to get into. Look, let's be honest, man. A lot of times when I walk into places, they have to really get to know me before they realize, oh, this guy's serious.
If you walked in on my property, I just say, no, I don't need any oranges, but I'd say it in Spanish. Naranja, dos naranja.
So funny. This guy is so funny. Let me tell you, the Canadians, man, they funny guys. Waka, waka, waka. But
Should we bring somebody else here? Let's do a three-way, see if this works.
whoa.
Hey.
Oh, this guy.
Look at that.
Oh, not that guy.
Look at it's like the beard of knowledge on one side, the beard
Ah,
of like a bird in the middle.
we got him. We got him.
Wrong one. Here we go.
There it is.
I feel like I'm surrounded by white people. I see white people.
Ah, ain't no white man here.
It's bringing back like prison memories for him or something.
You guys are breaking my heart.
Don't do that, Lou. Take a breath, Lou. Take
You
a
know,
breath. How you doing, Lou?
Aquafunk did the very last meeting that our club had before we shut down for COVID.
I broke their club.
You did. As the Venice Aquarium Society.
We did a live feed or something on
We
that
did,
one.
that's right.
Yeah.
We did a live stream.
Yeah.
It was first time we ever did it. Made a lot of mistakes, but boy, it was fun.
So he's banned now? Like he's never allowed back? That's in the minutes?
Oh, any day. If we ever meet again, I don't know if we'll ever meet again.
What is that, Lou?
Well, we lost our hall, our facility, and all of the officers are government officials, and they're scared to death of getting within 6 feet of each other. So I'm not on the board anymore. I resigned from the board because I wanted other people to do it. What?
Can't you just hold the meetings in your office? Everyone can just stand behind you.
I'm ready. Yeah. Well, I'm doing it every day. I do club meetings every day.
I just find it amazing. You do your live feed every single day. I get up in the morning and I'm in the bathroom and it's like Father Fish is live, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing live? And then I sign in and there's all these women with him, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. I thought I was the only one that noticed that. I was like, this guy has got Mary Page and all these other. I don't even know some of them.
I made the comment in one of his live feeds, and I actually asked, and the girls started talking about it. I actually said, how the hell do you get all these girls or women, beautiful women, at 7 o'clock in the morning on your live feed? And he talked about all the way that the grooming is done. So about a day or two after that, this is how it works. A day or two after that, I'm doing stuff on the phone, and all of a sudden the Facebook page is getting tons and tons of ads for beard irons and beard conditioners. And I'm like, what is going on here? I'm showing this to my wife, and it's like she has one of those hair conditioners. It's this big thing, but this is like a little one for doing your beard. I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
You guys were talking about Dan.
Oh man, that was a riot.
I met Dan in about 2000, maybe before that. I met him 25 years ago when he was working for IBM.
Yes.
And he was keeping 40-gallon tanks with pairs of fish in his garage.
Yep.
And I was taking all his fry.
Well, the real difference is what people don't know, and it's not bursting a bubble, it's not a secret or anything like that. Dan is very transparent in how he runs his business. Both he and his wife come from the financial business. That's where they spent all their life, both of them, working in real high finance. So they're extremely smart business people. They found a niche market that they could do real well, and they capitalized on it, and they did everything right. They knew that, they knew about the genetics. They understood the genetics. They were always going and finding new fish and bringing it back. You and a bunch of us go on a collecting trip. We bring back a bunch of wild fish. We're excited. That's what we brought. That's our souvenirs. We brought that back. But what he did is he brought that back as an investment in his
that's right.
And that's where he said, and the guy up in Canada here, Spencer Jack at Aficionados, that wholesaler, he's been one of my travel buddies for years. He does the same thing. Long before Felipe Cantera in Uruguay passed away, Spencer was one of the first people to go down there and do collecting trips. But he made it very clear to the people he was going with. He says, we're going to catch all this stuff. That's great. But when we bring it back, we're not bringing it back to Canada. We're going to Florida, and I'm going to stage all the individual fish in different farms. So Drawdy got some, Blue something got something who's out of business. Rick got some at Florida Exotics. And depending on whether it needed a mud pond or a concrete vault or whatever, he staged all those fish in different things. And he is, I'm going to say it 100%. He is one of the key contributors to making those fish available in the trade. Because otherwise, he would have taken those 6 home. You would have taken your 6 home. I would have taken my 6 home. And we may have bred them. We may not have. We would have spread them around. We've got our bat points from our local club. But it's really thinking it on a bigger scale. And that's where Dan and Martha have really done well. I applaud their efforts.
They're not easy fish to deal with. They're big fish. They're aggressive. You've really got to know your stuff to be able to keep them, and to have many different species of them. It's just really, nobody does that. Nobody.
Wild are extremely very dietary things too, eh?
Yeah, right.
Are you putting your hand up? Are you putting your hand up?
What?
I just wanted to say, I actually got to run. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and talk it out because I'm feeling pressure from both sides here. I just can't.
It's good for you. Good for you, Doug.
Hey, y'all take it easy.
To see you.
Hey, don't forget to leave that thumbs up, y'all, in the chat. I'm watching y'all. I see you. Thumbs up, man.
They all left. I don't think we've answered a single question that's been in the chat.
I know. Y'all take it easy.
See you in the morning. See you in the morning.
If you need anything, for that stuff we were talking about, the angel guy, we'll talk about that separate.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks,
I
buddy.
know exactly who you're talking about.
Cheers, bud. Have a good night.
What a fun guy.
Well, normally when I do these live feeds, I don't know if you were at the beginning. One, it was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. Well, it's 8 o'clock, started at 8 o'clock where I am.
At 9, right.
But here, it wasn't at 8 o'clock because when I schedule it, it goes on daylight savings time based on StreamYards. And where I am, they don't follow daylight savings time. So it actually started an hour late from when it was supposed to be. Everybody knew about. So it was a bit of a train wreck at the beginning.
Yeah, I saw you coming up, and I thought, gee, that'd be fun. Haven't seen you to talk to for a while.
Yeah.
And when I caught Aquafunk on there with you, that was just too good. It was just really fun.
I want to do these more. Honestly, that you're the inspiration for that because I wait every morning. You have different people coming in all the time, and then you go and say, "I'm going to post the link." And I've tried signing it. There's 12 people there. You see all these people at the bottom. I don't have time to wait on that.
Yeah, I'm getting better control of it.
I have no control over anything.
Well, I'm up to about. I get about 400 hits on it every day. So it's getting busy. I've got new people coming in every day. So I really needed to streamline it. Yeah, my channel is going nuts right now. I'm getting 100 new subscribers a day. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
I couldn't tell you why, except I've been doing this live stream for about 8 months now, every day. And now when I put a video out, it'll get 5,000 hits.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've put in the work. I'm going to go with it. It has to be not only years of knowledge and experience, but the way the beard is groomed. I'm going to have to do that. That is definitely a factor.
Yeah, I think so too, actually. I agree. It's definitely the beard. No question about it. I sit and stare at myself sometimes. I like it so much. See, look at that guy. He just looks like wisdom.
Hey, Kyle, you want to jump in on this, Kyle? Hey, Jordanella, Kyle, follow the link. Come on, let's follow the link here.
Really.
Kyle's a good friend of mine from up where I live, and he's always followed you since day one, and we've worked on different things, projects and stuff together. He's a very good friend. Let's see if he wants to jump in.
Nice.
Or anybody else. By all means, anybody wants to jump in and have a chat with us. We're just horsing around. We're shooting the poop. We're having a great time.
I've got a new venture coming up that I'm real excited about. A friend of mine owns a zoo in Maryland. It's called the Catoctin Mountain Zoological Park. Beautiful 100-acre zoo. I was thinking about him the other day. He's an old friend. And I called him up, and he said, "Boy, I'm glad you called." I said, "Well, why is that?" He said, "Because I'm thinking about putting a 3,000 square foot greenhouse in for fish." And I said, "Well, I called you because I'm thinking about doing a demo fish display for deep substrate, no feed tanks. And I thought it'd be great to do it at the zoo."
Yep.
So we're just starting conversations about that, but I'm real excited about it. Dr. Steve Bryan is nearby, and he's real excited. So we may very well be able to get an aquatic vet involved. It should be fun.
Well, it's always wonderful. When I do all the editing of my videos and the different topics when I'm traveling and stuff like that, I have my videos that are in, I call them, they're different levels of videos. And if I go to a fish farm or a massive fish house or a botanical garden, those are the real big videos. They take hours. Like that, everyone was talking about that one video I did with Dan Sharifi, the one
I watched that.
That was 13 hours to edit that video. 13 hours. This is not sit down and do it in one sitting. This went on for months to edit that thing down because I just had so much footage, and it's like, well, I could release it in 3 videos, but there's no logical place to release it that way. So we're just going to slam it out there, and it's a half-hour video, and that's what it is. And it was fun.
Great video.
But like,
great video, yeah.
I want to talk about this or that or one little thing, or I want to talk about this tank. Those are the easier videos to do. The only problem I have is no access to fish. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 8 tanks at home, 4 of which are empty right now. And I've been taking the fish to the wholesaler because I've got to move all the tanks out of the area to do the flooring to make the new YouTube kind of area, right? And I've got the flooring sitting there. I've got everything sitting there. I've got all the new camera equipment. I've got all the new laptop. Everything's ready to go. But I got to get rid of the fish. Well, the problem being with Manitoba being shut down, I can't get rid of the fish. I can't sell the fish to somebody. They can't come pick them up.
Right.
I can't meet people. Like, it's crazy right now. So it'll happen.
Do you have any natives up there worth working with?
We do have some different darters and things like that, but they're nowhere sexy like the ones that you'd find in like Kentucky, like Carolina.
Tennessee, right. I just got some sheep's head minnows today. I bred them. I got a video of them breeding. I bred them 3 years ago. They're a very cool little fish.
Almost all the fish up in like where we are, everything looks evil. Like you think northern, you think walleye, rock bass, big mouth, big teeth. That's the bulk. I did that one video where I was at that one river system. The people that know the video know what I'm talking about, where I explored the ecology of these different habitats and different environments in a healthy system. And that video did really, really well. But under that, I did a ton of underwater footage in the water with it. And I saw perch and all sorts of different types of minnows and darters, different things in that system. There was a question here. Somebody had a question. I apologize. I'm not ignoring, but the amount of questions that have been coming in and we haven't been able to answer. But this one actually is titled, "Okay, Real Question." I have not heard asked before. Has anyone had success getting their spouses to also take interest in the fish as a hobby, or even just enjoy viewing? What did you do? Well, I'll go first. I got divorced, and then I married a girl that worked at a pet store.
Huh.
It's true. That's how you do. Honestly, I don't think you could logically change somebody if they're not interested in something. They're not. Is my wife genuinely interested in the fish? No, not at all. But my wife will diligently take care of it and lovingly take care of all my stuff when I'm away.
Nice.
The same that I would. So for that, I'm extremely thankful and supportive of it.
What was the question? I missed it.
He wants to know how anybody has ever had success getting their spouses to also take interest in the hobby.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a real biggie. It's hard to do. There are some tricks, though. What you have to do when she...
Instead of buying...
Here's the game plan. You when she complains, the next time she complains about spending money on fish, you make a promise to her. You say, I will not buy another fish in a fish store unless you are with me. And then you got to be patient and wait for her to feel guilty about keeping you from going to a fish store. That may take a while, but it'll happen. When you go, here's the trick though. When you get there, you have to follow her around and watch her and see what she's interested in and make sure she buys the fish she likes. And then it's her fish in her tank. And you help her set it up.
Do the work for the tank. That's her tank. Or instead of buying your wife, this is going to put me in the doghouse with so many of the women in the chat. This is just going to be me being a jerk. Instead of buying your wife one of those thoughtful gifts at Christmas or Valentine's Day or birthday, like an ironing board or a vacuum or a new Instapot, buy her a fish tank. That is extremely thoughtful, because I came home from an American Cichlid Association convention. I thought my wife had said at one point in time she wanted a fish tank for her desk. So at the auction, one of these acrylic all-in-one 3-gallon cube with a filter and all that stuff, and I thought, hey, perfect. I bid on that at the auction. I was going to be like husband of the year. I drove that all the way back from like Cincinnati all the way back to Canada, and I wrapped it up. I gave it to her, and she goes, "Nah, that's not what I wanted. It's too big." But you know what happened? You know what the outcome of all that? I got a new 3-gallon aquarium.
Well, yeah. That's kind of cheating, though. The thing is, when a husband and wife are committed to the hobby, there's a division of labor that occurs that makes the hobby just really come alive.
Yep. Yeah, I know several couples. Like the one that comes to mind to me is Karen Haas and Alan Rawlings. They're not really in PA, I guess. They're in Pennsylvania, but they have they're husband and wife, and they have very, very set interests. He's really interested in Central Americans and live bears. Her interest is also in weird live bears and weird, rare, weird, odd West African species and cares stuff. They really complement each other, but their entire basement is fish. And it's not like this is my tank, that's your tank. They divide everything. They help with water changes. They feed. They do everything.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I've seen couples who do that. It's really remarkable because they do a division of labor, and it makes it so much easier, and they're able to achieve so much more than they could, by themselves. It's really wonderful to see it.
They also understand when you come home from a fish auction or a store with something that you don't have to pretend about the price you paid.
Yeah, right. That's it. Sure enough. Yeah.
Is anybody else wanting to jump on in here? Any have I missed any questions? We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm fine if anybody wants to keep going. The whole thing was
William Hardy is saying, what sort of water agitation is recommended for dwarf umbunas? I'm hoping to keep frogbit for nitrate consumption, but concerned with the amount of water movement messing with growth.
They're just going to, the umbunas are algae scrapers. They're just going to eat the roots of the plants and destroy them. I don't think
that's right.
Plants.
Yeah.
How far are we back? I don't even see any of this stuff. Oh, I see it.
That's at 10:11. I'm probably way back. It's only 4 or 5 from the bottom.
I got divorced. Kyle's being a jerk. Kyle's being scared. He doesn't want to come on with us. He's scared.
Oh,
we're calling you Kyle.
William Hardy, how important have you found water hardness in raising healthy fish? A fairly hard water found antlers, guppies, platies, mollies to thrive, while South Americans not. GBR Bolivians and stuff.
Somewhat. Well, you talk to some of the best fish breeders in the world of years gone by. I look at some of the hardcore discus breeders, the Edward Schmidt Fox and stuff like that. I don't have any real experience with Watley. I know he lived in Florida, but he also brings home the point is taking soft water fish and adapting them to harder water and if you're going to get them to breed in harder water, you will have stronger offspring that can tolerate a lot more variability and a lot more water chemistry strain.
That's right.
Are often very delicate because their environment, they don't need to have any of those protections in place. Is that true?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Watley in his original facility had a well. He was in the middle of Miami with a well driven 300 feet into the ground. So it was hard alkaline water.
Yep.
And that's what he raised his discus in.
Yep.
He had a big coil of heaters, 300-watt heaters, whole big coil of them, all tied together, sitting in that water as it's coming out. Yeah, and he raised discus in hard alkaline water.
But when we say that with somebody that's posing that question, by no means are Father or Lou and I suggesting that you bring in a wild import of fish and plunge them into calcium-filled water.
Yeah,
That's
exactly
not what we're saying.
Yeah, you do that with licorice Grammy, and you're not going to keep it 2 days.
Yes. Yeah, you want to get the fish healthy in the water chemistry that is close or as close as that you can provide to what they have. Be it black water, soft water, mineral poor water, whatever, and then slowly, gradually, once that fish is healthy and stabilized, we're talking a few weeks, maybe a month, get that fish good and conditioned, then you can start playing with the conditions. And that's when you start looking at altering the water chemistry.
Now, the reality is most of the fish that most people buy in their local fish store is acclimated to hard alkaline water.
Yes.
There are virtually no exceptions to that. There are fish that are raised generation after generation, whether it's here in the States, in Czechoslovakia, or somewhere in the Far East. They're raised in hard alkaline water. So you go, I had a woman once who bought $500 worth of angels from me, super fancy angels. Shipped them up to her in Philadelphia. And she insisted on putting these fish, they came off of Florida farms in salt acid water. She lost every single one of them, killed every one of them, and was so angry about it because she would not believe that they could be kept in hard alkaline water. She said, but the books all say, but these were not book fish. These were farm-raised fish. Very different.
Yep. And nobody gets that. People don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's really true. Hey, when you were talking about fancy fish farms earlier in the Tampa area, have you been to Valley?
Yes. Valley, I haven't been to Valley since I've done this sort of stuff, but Valley is one that I don't think would be very open for showcasing because
Yeah, that's true.
they don't ship. They don't want anybody to know they exist. Here, they're saying their name all over the place. But
I know. I do.
they produce, it doesn't matter what fish they produce. You and I know what fish they produce. They produce pretty much all of that group of fish. Plus, they do exceptional white clouds, a few odd ends. But like the bulk of that one body of fish that they produce is pretty much 95% of what's available in North America.
That's all I ever get is their fish.
Yeah, they're very, very good people.
And they're very amazing. They're wonderful fish. Never lose them. They always pair up. Always get a good price for them. Great fish.
I'm bugging people in the chat to come and bug us.
Ah,
We have a couple of people that should come on. This is one. If I can get this one lovely lady to come and join us, Father, this is one woman that you would love. She is absolutely an inspiration. And I'm definitely not trying to build you up. And the woman knows who I'm talking about, but she is a wealth of knowledge. She's as passionate as a fish keeper as you could ever meet.
nice.
Yeah, now she's saying, see what you've done, Kyle.
Yeah, right. I see it. Right.
One of the key organizers of their local club. She's helped with many of the big giant fish shows that I've attended. She is a wonderful, wonderful, passionate aquarist. Come on, Callie. That's it. I'm going to say your name live. Come on, Callie. You're coming on.
There are a couple of women in the streams that are just extraordinary fish keepers.
Oh yeah. Link, I love.
They're very shy. They're very shy people.
Well, Callie's not shy.
Isn't she?
No, Callie's not shy. Callie's very smart, reserved, and Callie's quiet. Callie's the type of personality that sits there and listens and enjoys. And if you ask her a question, she'll contribute. But she works for, and I apologize, Callie, if I say it wrong, but Callie works for, is it API? She works for one of the big companies.
Oh, really? Huh.
And she's the woman that would handle almost all the phone calls or emails that clients would send in asking questions.
Huh.
She knows so much stuff. She is wonderful. She started a YouTube channel, but I don't know if she did much after that. Come on, Callie. Wow. 2 people have given you the link. She's wonderful. Here she is here. There we go.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, Callie.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I need to mute this.
Right.
There we go. Okay.
You got it.
Is it API that you work for?
Yes.
Yes, I was wrong. And what is your position at API? You're the
fish nerd, technical service person.
A techie, right.
But she handles all the tech stuff. So like she gets all the super technical stuff. And like we've joked about this before, Lou, but like people, and I have often alluded to in some of my videos, is like people will come and watch a video and think they keep fish and they think they understand aquarium chemistry because the person at the store said, I had 7 drops of this and 3 drops of this. And it turns my
right.
it turns pink, I do water change. But they have no concept whatsoever of any chemistry that's actually happening or biological activity. They just know that they got to do this, this, and this, and it tells them this.
Yeah.
You're right. Pneumonia is bad.
You handle all those questions.
All those
Kelly.
questions, and I also have to tell people not to put cookies in their tank.
Not to put cookies in. Right. Right.
I am not kidding.
Even if they have pecans in them. Right.
Correct.
I agree.
Never trade. It's not allowed.
So Callie, what happened with the YouTube channel?
So I've been focusing on doing my monthly meetings for my club. So I haven't been building the actual channel because I'm just trying to get that virtually going.
They do it all online. They do all. That's all.
How is it going? How are you doing with it?
It's going well. I mean, we get like probably 40 to 80 people each time it goes on live. We bring on a speaker, and basically anyone can join to watch, but to respect the speaker's intellectual property. Basically, it's only live, usually stays up a day or two, and then it's taken down.
Now, most clubs thrive on auctions.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything with that?
Yes. So we were using 32 Auctions, which is a free auction site, but it has a limit on items that you can put on there. We're trying to transition potentially to some new software that the Northeast Council has produced. This month is the first month I'm trying to load things onto that, though, so I don't have feedback on that yet.
So how is that going to work? Does the seller ship or make arrangements to meet someone?
Make arrangements, basically. They know where they need to go to
local.
pick it up.
Primarily local, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of club members come into my shop today complaining about the fact that they've got fish that they need to take to the club meeting, and we're not having club meetings. It's really a problem.
Well,
Where are you located, Callie?
What bothered me most about the club thing is in the States, you guys are doing your thing. Even in Canada, everyone's trying to find a way to adapt to connect with their members of their local organization.
Right.
And I see in Ohio, the club that does that, they got their online BAP. Send me a photo, a video, that sort of stuff. My club in Winnipeg, we're almost a year now. And they said, no, if they can't bring, because one of the stipulations in our rules is you have to bring 5 fry, and they have to go in the BAP auction, which is at the very beginning of the auction. The BAP can happen first. And without that, because that way at least you're guaranteeing that the club is going to have one crack at least of anything, be it guppies or the rarest fish in the world. There's always going to be a chance will be auctioned to the members. But without that, they basically said, no, we're not going to do it. And I'm like, well, people aren't going to breed fish and just keep them indefinitely with the thought that it may come back.
Yeah, right.
Find a way.
We
Callie, where are you located, Callie?
Oh, Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yep.
I'm talking with a friend about a move from Florida to Thurmont to the Catoctin Mountain Zoo.
I am from Massachusetts originally, and I have no idea where that is.
It's right across, right across from Gettysburg, just down from Gettysburg. Just across the line in Maryland.
I'm in Canada. I don't even know you guys.
Right. Well, that's exciting. Callie, I have a question. What do you consider to be the most important product that API manufactures? The single most important product.
Now, he owns a store, so he probably has the products. I don't even know what API manufactures, so I have zero investment in this.
I'm gonna get in trouble. I mean, you can't do anything without water conditioner. But honestly, as far as the questions that I get and the misunderstanding of certain things, I think that like the most underrated and thing that people don't buy and should is the KH test kit, like monitoring your carbonate hardness, because people don't know to do that.
Understand that. Yeah.
And they crash their tanks a lot.
Excellent. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know what API carries, but I'm going to go back to the days when I sold retail, and I actually worked in the pet stores. And I'm going to backtrack a second. I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I basically worked in pet stores after doing music, and then I went from pet store to grocery, and I worked in grocery stores and went really quickly up the ladder in the grocery store chain to a very top position, and then my store got bought. And then I was basically like 6 figures down to like minimum wage. What am I doing? And I was a mall security guard.
Wow.
Right at that. And then I went back into the pet industry. And when I went back into the pet industry, I've totally lost my train of thought where I'm going with this. I've had 6 years.
API products.
Okay, exactly. Okay, no, yeah, when I went back into the pet industry, they wanted me to run stores and do that. I said, no, I'm not interested, but I'll run a fish department, which was at the time was kind of a lower grade type job.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Probably give to the guy that does flyers on the weekend, you know?
Right.
We'll give it to this guy. He looks special. We'll give it to him.
He can do it.
With that, and within only about 6 months of doing that, I started creating programs and stuff. And eventually with that company, I created all the programs where I oversaw and developed their programs for fish and reptile for the company right across Canada. And I had a lot of fun with it. And I started attending a lot of shows and looking at things in a different light of, what do we need to do? And Callie talks about the KH test kit. The one thing that I think in the pet industry that is never sold to anybody, and it was the best selling thing for me, is every single time somebody, and Father, you own a store, so you would understand this. If somebody walks in your door and they have a broken heater, and they say, I need a new heater. And the people in the chat, let me finish and let me go through it before he jumps down on me, because you'll understand it in the end. But when somebody walks in the door at a pet store and they have a broken heater, do you find out exactly what heater brand it is and what wattage it was, and then go get the exact duplicate that you have on the shelf and hand it to them or send them out the door? No. Father's saying no. I agree, no. The first thing I want to know is what size heater it is, what type of fish they have, what size tank they have.
What size tank, right.
And one thing, this will make more sense in the end, is do they have kids? Are there kids involved in taking care of the fish tank? And I want to know, and I want to have that conversation. I want to go through all that stuff. Because like the guy might have a $13 Walmart heater in his 70-gallon, and it might be the right wattage, in his 70-gallon tank with his Oscars and a giant pieces of slate that his buddy told him to put in there. And the fish out and slammed, and the heater hit the wall and it broke. And now maybe it's simple as that. But if I don't show him the Cadillac heater that's titanium or unbreakable plastic, ballistic plastic, and I don't show him with all those digital features and all that stuff, it might be $100 from his $13 one. But if I don't show him that, I'm doing a disservice to him by not showing him that. He can in turn come to me and say, he says, I really like that. I understand all that. That's way more money than I was expecting to pay.
Yeah.
But then we can definitely go down from that. Like one of the top heaters that I think of is the Cobalt Neotherm.
Yeah.
I love that heater. And when you go into the bigger wattages, it's a ballistic plastic heater. It's almost indestructible. I've ran the tank where I forgot the heaters were plugged in, and the tank was completely drained. And the heater is thermally protected and it's digital. But you're talking a $100+ heater, right?
Yeah.
And then there is, you go down the line and you can step down. But if you start at right at the bottom and give them that garbage heater, you're not helping that customer in my eyes. And now the other thing, the product that I'm getting to with my long story is the thing that I sell along with the heater was the best-selling feature. And at the store that I worked with at the time, all those years, it was like a $35 or maybe it was a $50 item. But I sold it as a life insurance policy, and it was a grounding probe, a simple grounding probe. How many people keep fish tanks in our chat that would actually go and unplug their heater when they do a water change, knowing full well they may have both their hands in their tank? Think back to the day when you had metaframe tanks, those metal tanks. I've been hit by a 3-foot electric eel in a 50-gallon metal frame tank that stopped my heart.
Me too. 5
I'm an advocate for these things.
and a 5 foot would hit me.
Oh, I will be an advocate of grounding. And my big tanks, my 750 gallon and the new 12-footer we're building, it's literally it's a piece of wire with a titanium probe. It's a piece of wire with plastic.
Simplest thing in the world. Yeah.
You know, and you plug it in and it'll save your life.
Yeah.
Literally all it'll do. It'll save your life. You'll never know if it works or not. It'll just save your life if there's ever a problem.
Yeah.
I should probably get one.
We built out my pet shop, and the electrician grounded everything. Everything in there is double grounded and triple grounded.
Now, every pet
I've never had a shock.
Grounded.
I'll feel a tingle sometimes, but I've never had a shock.
I've had that a bunch, but I'm laughing at myself this entire time because I don't think I've bought a heater in a long time because I do the club thing, and so I have like 20-year-old heaters just in a rotation. I break
right.
from the dollar bill.
Yeah.
Well, I think
That's probably very bad.
The topic of heaters has come up, and the topic of heaters we could talk about forever. And everybody's going to talk about their horror stories about heaters. And I will say that in all honesty, I still have probably 30-year-old Evo Jabers that are army green. The whole heater is green. I still have them. And honestly, if people are buying here, I think a lot of the failing comes in heaters, and I might be wrong. And Father, you can definitely chime in. Callie, you can definitely chime in too. But when it comes to heaters, I think people often buy at that level that they think they can afford. They don't think of it as a life support system. If I'm in the hospital and I'm dying, I don't want them to come to me and go, well, we have 3 options for your care.
Right.
Or do you want where we'll come and check on you once a week and we'll put a Band-Aid on on whatever? Or do you want the good care? Like, I want the best. I'm not saying I want to gold plated or anything like that, but I want something that's going to do the job that I'm expecting to do. And we live in a society in North America where everything is disposable. In Europe, that is the exact opposite case.
Huh.
It's always been that way. In North America, we want cheap, we want fast. You look at filters, and I don't want to use the same example again of cobalt. Like cobalt, we sell cobalt up in Canada. We don't carry the whole line in Canada. We carry certain things. We're not really a fish specialty company, but we carry their foods and a few other items. But one item we carried was their canister filter, and it was like going back in time to real solid aquarium keeping in Europe.
Yeah.
The canister filter had no power, nothing attached to it. It had a hose and there was a little pump in line. And so you could literally unhook your tank and leave the whole tank running and go and clean your canister filter. And then all of a sudden, Rocker's got a broken arm and I got to go to the hospital. The kid's got a broken arm. Your tank's still running. There's no other canister filter in the world that does that. And I was so floored by that. But I used to badger the guys all the time. I says, why don't you build a bigger canister? And the exact answer was, we won't. If bigger tank, you put 2 filters on. Bigger tank, you put 3 filters on.
Yeah.
That is, it's slow and it's more efficient. Everything about that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I started doing that with heaters too. So
with the heater,
right.
Nobody does that. If you want to protect yourself from a heater malfunction, buy that digital controller that you plug your heater into that has the probe that does your temperature of your tank. I trust you. You will never, ever have a heater problem again.
So long as the probe stays in the water.
Yes.
I boiled a tank of fish once because the probe fell out.
Yep.
And they were 10-inch frontosa.
So like an $8 fish. $8 fish.
Yeah, or $8 fish, right. Well, I gotta go. I've got to get up in the morning. I have a live stream in the morning, and I'm an old man. I got to get sleep.
I won't be awake for that. I'm just telling you now, I will not be awake for that. I don't even know what time it's at with the time zone and the time change environment. I have no concept of what time.
Whatever. Callie, I'm delighted to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Wonderful to be here.
I guess I got to remove you, don't I?
Yeah, I think you got to remove him. He's just gonna sit.
No, Mills. Is your club doing good?
Yeah, I mean, we adopted the virtual meetings very early on. Like, I think we started either March or April and just kept going. So we're used to it now at this point.
I see clubs all over the place, like Chicago clubs. And the thing that you guys did, and everybody else kind of, I think you guys were one of the first ones to do it right away, is everybody's come on board. Is they realized is saying, let's not make it just for members. Let's put it on Facebook. It's for everybody, and like let's just share it.
Exactly.
Information. And like everyone's, I guarantee every club executive is going, oh no, you can't. Well, if the members pay and the member pay, that it is what it is. Right now, our club has not our club in Winnipeg has not met since January, February of last year. So we're a full year now. We haven't met. It's not that we don't want to meet. We can't because of obvious issues, but even the facilities won't allow it.
Yep.
Same with that. What Father was saying too. So I'm like, is what it is. But like, they're not paying for a membership this year because one, we have no expenses. We don't have a hall. So two, we don't have any expenses. Give it for free. But the thing somebody started a page on Facebook that was Facebook Online or fish groups online or stuff sharing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
There's a bunch of them. I have no idea. I'm probably in like 20 different groups at this point.
But I'm looking at like.
Oh, are you talking about like the YouTube sharing one?
No, I'm talking
about
people that have like your club has an online meeting and you guys make meet on the third Thursday of every month. We should.
Yeah, I think someone does keep track of that.
In North America, or a bunch of groups should get together and kind of saying like, okay, the Saskatoon Aquarium Society, that's just a random one. It's just random. It's 2 hours north of me here. They don't do anything right now. Their club's been kind of shut down. But if they meet on the third Sunday, they could all of a sudden say, we're also partnered with the Lancaster Club, and we're also partnered with the Denver Cichlid Club, and we're going to have a meeting this on our normal day, and this is the speaker it's going to be.
Yeah.
We could easily do that, but we don't. Maybe that's next year, 2021, because we're going to be in lockdown for 6-7 years, right? This is the way it is.
Oh my goodness, I hope not. I really want to get back to it, but I definitely did want to open it up to everybody because people are stuck at home and they are actually turning to their tanks. In a lot of the cases, we've seen an uptick in the industry as far as people buying tanks and buying fish. So why not bring them in, get them interested now? And when they actually are allowed out, they'll come to the club. If they're interested in it enough and they keep that tank past the like the 60 days where it's touch and go, after they get hooked, they'll come. They'll come to the club.
I see there's a question, and this is for you, the very last one there. Can you see the chat? Terry's Tropical Tanks. It'd be 10:41 your time.
Changing the nitrate reagent in the liquid API kit. So no, that's just the chemistry of how that works. And I know why you're asking, because it's the shaking. The nitrate number 2 has a powdered reagent in it, so it has to be shaken. And people sometimes have issues if it either isn't shaken vigorously enough or it leaks in transit, something like that happens. So I believe that's why he's asking, but that's just that kit and how that's put together.
Okay.
I could actually open one up and show you if you want. If you want to do science, we can do it.
So we having a clash this year? That's in September?
I haven't heard anything yet. I have to ask.
There's no reason to book anything now. It's crazy, right?
Well, yeah. I don't think they'd book anything, but
like
if you're gonna have something.
I had, and this is, I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my horn or anything like that. I don't know why it's all weird now. But this year, 2021 or 2020, I had so much stuff planned, and I know everybody has plans. So that's what I mean. I appreciate, and I everybody had things going on, and life was supposed to continue on. But like, I had the Germany thing, I had UK, I had South Africa, I had a collecting trip in Panama.
I remember that. You were supposed to go in the shark cages.
That was Africa. Yeah, that was like everything. One thing after another. It was like watching it falling. Like, okay, we're gonna have to cancel that one. Okay, we're gonna have to cancel that one. It's just one thing after another. And like, I haven't done anything like you know me. Like, I travel all the time for my job and everything like that. And the last time I flew was on March 13th, on Friday the 13th. That sets the tone. So I left Winnipeg. I flew, or that's the day I got home. But I flew Winnipeg, Toronto, New York, North Carolina, and I spoke at a conference there with Lucas Bretz and Charlie Grimes.
Oh, Charlie.
I don't remember some other people. And then I flew home that weekend, and I went to Toronto, and I stayed in Toronto for like a week for meetings and stuff like that. And then we all flew home on Friday the 13th, and then the world shit the bed.
Yep. That's absolutely what happened. This was supposed to be the year that I had money enough to do like conventions. Like this was supposed to be the first year where I was like, ooh, I could go to Aquashella. I could do it. I can afford that now. Nope.
No, you can't do that.
No. I can't travel. There is none of that. I sit in my apartment now.
Hey, it is what it is, you know. But when's your channel going to come back? Because your channel is good. You've got the skills. You have stuff. You have a very unique aspect of delivering things that people don't get. You could, and I'm not saying, you know, use it from an API standpoint, but you could talk about the science that most people can't. Do it.
I appreciate the compliment. I do want to try and do something. What I started doing is like, if I get a really good question, I will write it down on a note card and I put that in my drawer. So I have a pile of just like random questions that I think are interesting that I eventually will do some sort of content. I'm just not sure what the format is going to be or whether I should just do random.
You say the next time I do a hot seat. That's what you're saying. You're going to just save those. And I'll ask you a stupid question.
I should just ask the people. Be like, can I put cookies in my tank?
All right, we're gonna sign off here soon because I'm pretty sure my in-laws are going to bed soon upstairs, and they're really right above me, and I'm loud as hell. But Cole has just asked, what is the best substrate for neocaridina shrimp? And I was going to get Eco Complete, but I was thinking of getting lava rock and just crushing it to save some money. I've never used lava rock. I've kept
both of those are very rough.
I've kept many different types of shrimps and stuff like that, and I've bred all sorts of shrimps and everything like that. But I will always, no matter what I do, unless I view myself as, you know, really, really knowledgeable, I will tend to follow to my experts. And Grant Eater at Garden of Eater, he really strongly recommends all those different mineral-rich, I think several of them are plant-type substrates. Grant Eater would recommend one particular one over all of them, and I apologize, I don't remember the name of it. But it offers the mineral and the calcium supplements for the shrimp, and it also works great for plants and everything like too. But they're all those little engineered substrates, all the little
exactly. That's the important part, because if they are, you know, the little clay balls, what you can do is you can watch your little shrimp pick up the little ball of substrate and nibble on it. It is the absolute best thing that you have ever seen. You will love that, no matter how much it costs.
Well, my lovely lady, it was absolutely lovely seeing you tonight. I'm glad that you took the plunge and came on board because
Kyle.
Do you know what this means?
What?
It means that we're going to do it again.
Jesus.
We're going to have some fun.
All right.
Not like in 10 minutes or anything. I'm not today.
I do need to. Ooh, it's almost 11 here.
Yeah.
I have work.
It's been a pleasure, my friends. Everybody, I apologize. I had really no concept of what we were going to do. Brightwell, yes, Jordanella is right. Brightwell is the brand that the Grant Eater endorses, and Brightwell, their engineered substrate is what he uses for his shrimp. And this is a guy that is probably one of the top most awarded shrimp keepers in North America. This guy knows his stuff. So the Brightwell one is what he uses. So as everybody, Adele, Jordanella, all my friends, everybody that's participated this evening, thank you very much. We'll do this again. I don't know when. It's going to be a surprise, but it's always fun. With that, take care, everyone.